Gives us some time every Thursday around 1:15, and we're always grateful for that time. Mike, we're going to jump right into it as we do. Now we're done. Off-season work has come to an end. There was a little practice today and then some sugar. How did it work out down at Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit?
Yeah, it was very, very light. Sean Payton talked about how there have been no sugar days for the final days since 2011, when the CBA basically, drastically reduced the amount of how these guys practice during training camps and the off season. But he did cancel the last day last year, and today it was very light. I think with walkthrough, they were on the field for about an hour. They had one team period. They did their drills, or they did the individual drills, and then they had one team period. Bo hit Troy Franklin on a deep seam. You had Jarrett Stidham made a couple nice throws to Sherfield and a tryout receiver, Jaden Smith, and then they called everybody together, and the food trucks came out: shaved ice, barbecue,
nice,
burgers,
Whoa.
tacos. Yeah. So it was a very light, kind of like a final day of school, really, is what it reminded me of. And so they're off for a 5.5 week vacation, and we'll reconvene in training camp. It seems like the teams that have announced, it's been around July 24th. So that's roughly when I think the Broncos will.
Okay, well, get to work, like Vance Joseph said. Mike, a very delicate conversation, and I don't want to be an alarmist, but Courtland Sutton didn't talk today, if I'm correct, and there were rumblings that he might, and to my recollection, he hasn't talked this offseason, even at a Healthy Swings event, which was canceled, which we were at. It was his event. He could have talked to us then. Anything here? Like, I thought, and maybe obviously wrongfully so, like Court would be kind of easier to get done because he played ball last year with them, So is there anything going on here with Courtland Sutton in your eyes, or maybe a deal on the horizon around training camp?
No, well, yes, on the latter. Basically, they didn't talk because, the whole contract thing is delicate, is sensitive. A little hot. I think that's really a better question for Patrick Smythe, the PR guy, and as he works with Sean Payton. What does Sean want? Sean basically doesn't want any player to talk, or any coach. He likes to get up there, but in this case, I think they have had preliminary talks. It'll be all good. We'll talk here. I do think Courtland, my guess is it'll get done right before training camp. Okay. I think training camp will be, they talked about restarting it right after the draft. I don't think there's been a whole lot of substance to the talks as of now, at least as of a week ago. There was not a whole lot of substance to the contract talks, other than they're going to talk. And all's good. Everybody likes the other. One party likes the other party. But we'll see when the numbers come down. Probably these things come together pretty quick. 2 weeks before camp, I think Rich Hurtado, the Broncos contract guy, will probably talk with Courtland, maybe with the representative of Zach Allen, Nick Benito. I think those three they'll look at pretty strongly. I'm not sure. The first one that gets done may not necessarily be the priority. It's just the one that's the easiest to negotiate. And I'm not sure which of those three it would be: Benito, Zach Allen, or Courtland Sutton. But obviously, I think Sutton has to get done before training camp. I'm not sure he would hold out from training camp if it doesn't get done and he's not happy, because then you start getting some massive fines. And even last year, he passed up on the fines. But he would not be a happy camper if if a new deal's not done. He has 1 year, $14 million left, and that puts him about, I don't know, 22nd to 25th in the league, and he wants it to be quite a bit north of that.
We're talking with Mike Klis, our 9 News Broncos insider. He hangs every Thursday with us right here on Dover and Cecil. I want to ask you about J.K. Dobbins, Mike, and it's something we've talked about. I know you've written about, talked about it on Mic Drop as well with the addition of, but Sean doesn't want to talk about roles. So I guess maybe just from your opinion and, rookie coming in here on R.J. Harvey behind him, is J.K. Dobbins already looked at as the starter? Is Sean being truthful when he says there's no real roles defined yet? Is this going to be maybe the only offensive camp battle that we see as who's the starting running back?
Well, Sean Payton can't say J.K. Dobbins is the starting running back because even if he is, because, there's the injury factor. You got to get through the preseason, and running back is a position that often it's hard to keep everybody healthy, through the preseason and training camp. So that's why he's saying let it play out. But the plan, if everyone's healthy, the plan would be much like the Lions, I would think, when they had Montgomery and Gibbs. Mm-hmm. And when Gibbs was a rookie, he didn't get the ball as much as he did in year 2. And I think you're going to see that with the Broncos. I think Dobbins would like to get maybe 2 or 3, would get the first carry and 2 or 3 more carries a game. Harvey would be the 1B with more catches than Dobbins. So, but I do think you're going to see both of those guys, carry the load at the running back position. The number 3 running back, which if you look around the league, teams with dual running backs, the 3rd running back, if he's a good one, he usually gets 2 series. 1 series in the first half, 1 series in the second half, and he usually comes in there and he adds some pop. And the question is, will it be that 3rd running back? Will it be Jaleel? I would think he's got the inside track at number 3. But you also have Estime, Bidet. Bidet oftentimes gets first team reps during this offseason. And I know Sean Payton likes Bidet, his versatility and his running ability. And then Blake Watson, they liked him too, but he's been dinged up a little bit. I think he's got some soft tissue issues here at the end of last year, and then again through the off season. So it's crowded with young guys, but the top 2 will be Dobbins and Harvey.
Yes. JK and RJ. Sounds like Devon Vele is going to be okay, Mike. Is that right?
Yeah, Sean Payton kind of indicated today that it was a leg issue. He was talking about it. He didn't say it, but he kind of pointed. He kind of grabbed his leg as he was talking. So that's what I mean. That to me, that was an indicator. And but he said he's going to be fine. So I don't know if it's a knee, if it's a hammy, or a twisted ankle. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but he says he'll be full go by the start of training camp.
All right, and last one I got for you, Mike. The Will Shepherd stuff, getting the failing a physical there in Tampa Bay, getting a tryout shot here with the Broncos. Of course, fans are going to remember the name being a former Buff and having a big role there with the Buffaloes this last season. Any shot? I mean, it's already a crowded wide receiver room. I would imagine he'd be a fan favorite with the ties up there in Boulder. Any shot he makes this roster?
I don't know anything about that. It's so the odds are long for any of these tryout guys. He was here, so he has a shot. But I didn't see him necessarily flash during this 3-day workout, in part because, those guys don't get many reps.
Sure.
But Jaden Smith caught a long pass from Stidham today. So, but I don't know what to tell you on that. They haven't announced any sign out or tryout signings yet. Doesn't mean they won't sign 1 or 2. They had 7 of them out there. We'll see if 1 or 2 make it for the 90 man.
All right, great stuff as always from Mike Klis, our 9 News Broncos insider. Make sure you're following him at Mike Klis 9 News on Twitter, reading and watching him there at 9news.com/sports. Mike, always appreciate the time and insight. We'll talk to you next week.
And have a great Father's Day, Mike.
All right, same to you guys, and don't get in too much trouble during the 5-week break from Broncos football.
We'll do our best. Same to you.
All right,
There we go. Mike Klis right there on the hotline. Yeah, we got to stay out of trouble. They got to stay out of trouble.
One of us is going to Vegas soon.
Yeah. We'll see how things play out this weekend. And hopefully Mike gets some time off to chill and kick it.
Yes.
Good stuff from Mike. We have to react to a few things he said about the Courtland Sutton